Morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Wait, I didn't know what that building was.
You all packed, Dalton?
I was looking in.
Are you all packed?
Yes, this is not even like the computer, it's just my stuff that can't get cold.
Oh, that's it. That's
Wait, I
it.
saw you, but then
This and another backpack.
I'm
Where are you?
in Garfield, so I'm right in the nice building, it's kind of open and everything. Yeah. Like if you wanna walk from one side next to the other, it's like 15-20 minutes depending. I don't know, if you don't mind walking, it's a good room, but.
The poster boards are great.
Oh, good. Did you fix it to the wall?
I might use the masters, but right now it's just.
So like if you have the.
There's this, there's a name for it. It's like putty.
Oh,
I'll make sure I know well.
What's that?
I was just called sticky tack, but.
Yeah, and that works really well.
Sir.
All right, we're gonna get started. I did share with you via email that Webster Pacific is hiring. So we're hiring somebody for the summer as an associate consultant. You can see it on our website or check your email, and you've got a link to this. Let's see. So we're gonna do your presentations today. We've got 11 of them to get through. Also, one other thing. So then I will have some final remarks, but before we get there, I'm going to give you some time to, if you haven't written your one-page summary, to do that in class today. And if you have, and you could put it, we have this document, and you can get to it through the syllabus. You can also get to it. So on the syllabus, it says curating my class. If you click on that, you can get there. You should be able to add your thing in and just put it in there. Anybody have any questions about that? If you haven't done it, what I'm going to ask you to do before the class is over, just go in there and write 5 bullet points about what you're going to remember, what you think you got out of it. Like, that's fine. If you want to write it up more later, go for it. I continue to encourage you, like, especially if you're first years, like, write down that for each one of your classes. You'll be very glad you did. Yeah.
So 5 bullet points is good, or we can expand on it later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go take a quick look because we ended last class with speculation, and got 11 of them. I'm going to risk it here and let us talk about these. So, Leighton, why did you think this might be speculation?
Because none of it, I don't think, like, it's based on, it's like the perspective deposit, so they haven't actually gone in and like seen that they can actually mine in all these places. It's just based on they like map the geography of the area, like all this stuff, and then they basically say where is most likely to have large zinc deposits. So yeah, they have this for a couple different minerals, but I just thought it was a cool set. And I thought that was speculation just because they haven't actually gone in and tested any of it. It's all just like theoretical, or like educated guessing.
I guess it kind of begs the question of, like, is speculation oops, hold on, sweetie.
But it's also sort of impossible to actively go in.
Well, right. So oil drillers they know there's low risk of success. And so low odds, maps that are low odds may still be useful to someone, but they could also be speculative in the sense that they're really not that useful. They just look good. And you don't really know unless if you delve into it and ask a lot of questions. In our consulting world, we talk a lot about back testing. So back testing just means like you look at what your predictions say, and then you compare it to some data set about what really happened. And so if you were, again, I hope that you guys come away with all of this from this class as like feeling empowered to ask a lot of questions when you see visualizations. And so you could ask them, did you do any back testing of this? By the way, you guys did a great job yesterday. Like there were 5 questions during his talk, and I thought it was awesome. So I got to say, you guys you've done an outstanding job of jumping in and asking questions. All right.
Oh, yes.
So what was speculative about this?
So I think this is speculative because it's very difficult, it's probably, I'm assuming, very difficult to get accurate information on the ground circumstances, especially in a war zone.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the time when we're listening to these changes of territory, we're basing it off of official proclamations made by these like War Departments or Departments of Defense of either country.
Yeah.
And then we're trying to verify it with like satellite imagery of destruction. TikTok posts, like in the modern age, we're like trying to verify changes in territory with like TikTok posts,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Twitter posts.
Yeah.
Like it's very difficult, right? So I'm not making a judgment on how accurate it is, but I'm just saying like when it comes to the actual on the ground situation, change territory, the occupation, it might have to be taken with a grain of salt because like how much good information do we actually have when the fog of war has fallen over these territories? Like
Totally. Everybody familiar with that term, fog of war? Heard that? McNamara, there's a great documentary, Robert McNamara, one of the guys, the whiz kids who worked at Ford Motor Company in like the 50s, went to work as the Secretary of Defense. And there's a whole documentary. Kennedy appointed him. Right. There's a documentary about him in Vietnam and talking about how you don't know in war, but you have to make decisions.
it's especially interesting because like in the internet age, like sometimes using pictures that people snapped on Twitter or something and posted, maybe that was a good thing. But with AI nowadays, who knows?
Yeah.
And especially if you have like the capacity to shut down the internet in some of these areas, then you have zero, like your ability to verify things is way lower. And then it's like we have no clue what's happening. It's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is how Earth might look like in 200 million years. And I think speculations can be like bad and good, and I think this is a bad speculation because it does not look accurate for some reason, at least for me. So yeah, I found it there, and maybe that's why.
That's Twitter you say.
That everything have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks to America. This.
I'm always suspicious when it's hard to find exactly who did it. I mean, maybe.
Why is South America bending its name?
Mhm.
Is that like plates sugar?
Somebody just put it in Photoshop and was like distorting.
I know, like,
So it's so
what's your
Yeah,
there?
so
Yeah.
It could have been scientific.
I didn't
realize it's 200.
What, the poster is controversial?
So,
That's something else.
yeah, Antarctica's green, what's going on with that?
I feel like I have to create this.
Yeah, no, wait, one of the ones I put is fantastic.
Oh my
It's really
God.
bad.
You know, I saw
Yeah, it was so shocking, I don't know. Like, in a year. Oh, wait, like 26 actually.
Now, like,
Now.
this is actually.
Yeah, I don't know, because-
I guess we changed it pretty soon.
Yeah, they know more than we do, I mean, they, artificial
The
intelligence.
Canadians are all, we moved out.
And exactly. I'm surprised they got the job.
All right, we'll keep moving here. Dalton.
That is mine. That's just I looked on Reddit for misleading like infographics and maps.
Yeah,
And I think the
wisdom per page.
I mean, there's no way to quantify that at all. And you would have to actually, to like make a most dense books, you'd have to also like know every single book ever.
Yeah,
These people clearly don't. I mean, Elon Musk is number 10 on the.
He's not in book.
Oh,
about him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a book
Isaacson.
But yeah, no, I just thought it was really funny. There's no way to actually quantify that. Or if you did, you'd have to like, like lay out.
And they certainly didn't show us their methodology
No.
and how they did it. Yeah. There was a time when there was all these city rankings coming out, and I got under the covers of one of the rankings, and it was just very random how they made their metrics. Okay.
This one be me.
Yeah.
So I thought I would be kind of cheeky of choosing the ocean because it turns out we actually have better knowledge per foot per square inch of Mars, the surface of Mars, than we do of the bottom of the ocean. So I heard pretty recently that like a lot of the filled in beautiful trenches and mountains that we see in the ocean, Google Maps, for example, which is where I got this from,
Yeah.
is stitched together. They didn't actually like it looks as though like they sent ships across the entire ocean.
Right.
Like this is not nearly the same resolution as like the land, but it kind of depicts that way. So a lot of things are being filled in in a way that it doesn't look like that. You wouldn't think it is.
Yeah.
But it is. And I chose Pacific because
Yeah. And beware of interpolation when you hear that. We've seen that, and that's a lot of fancy math, and you can make it with 3 data points or 30,000 data points. Okay.
This is mine. I just went to look up like a US kind of weather prediction, and it gave me like a week to 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
And even though there is obviously like advanced technology that in like a few days in advance can help you know maybe what temperature it is or what the precipitation levels will be like, to think about 2 weeks out, yet we're still not at that level of like exact accuracy. And even just looking at it today now, the kind of pie chart percentages have changed. And,
Yeah.
and I took the screenshot yesterday. So to see like obviously as it gets closer to the actual day, it'll get more accurate. But this is kind of just a gauge based on technology. But it's still, there's a lot of speculation for them to be able to say, oh, it's going to be this temperature or this temperature on February 10th.
So I would say there's 2 levels of variability related to predictions like this, and one would be by time. So I would want to know the accuracy of the prediction if it's a day in advance, 7 days in advance, right? 3 weeks in advance. There's also a granularity question. Like you can't measure the weather by, 1 block area, right? And you can't also measure it by, I don't know. I mean, it's dull to say 300 square miles, right? And so that granularity question of what it is that you're actually measuring, this purports to measure sort of everything. Interesting. I mean, we have a number of examples here of things that appear to be useful speculations or useful low risk estimations. But I would also like, again, backtesting, like how you'd love to, if you were the producer of this information, you would ask yourself or your team, tell me, like, let's look at our predictions and how accurate are our 14-day projections, and go back over the last whatever and look at that. Okay.
All right. So essentially, I found this on like some subreddit. They asked ChatGPT to predict what would happen in the year 2026, and I just genuinely don't understand nearly like anything on this map. I don't.
What is it? Is it ChatGPT made this map?
Yes, ChatGPT makes that. It's like a subreddit that, like dedicated to asking AI to make like maps.
Yeah.
And that's
What's wrong with unland?
yeah, I don't know what that is. And the German
Who
like,
that is?
there's a greater German.
But they're Lutheran.
They're Lutheran. There's German Lutheran. Well, there's
I know, right?
they're different colors. So there's obviously they're obviously
No.
and it's Leah.
The German.
Yeah.
Especially with Russia.
Hold on just a second. I'm gonna get there. I was gonna push it into Google Lens and see what it says.
It's gonna be confused.
It's gonna be very confused. Hold on.
Fatal Ireland?
Antarctica.
And
Alternate migration, I know what that means.
It's real, yeah.
People political then, what's that something?
I don't.
do you reckon the image might itself contain some metadata that indicates like the prompt that generated it? Cause like it seemed like the Google map understood like the kind of question or prompt that led.
Oh,
Well,
Alright.
we're also, Gemini is also just guessing.
that's true.
Do you think so?
Well, yeah, the AI
It
guys.
is, that is just generative AI.
Oh, okay, wait.
Wow.
Wow.
That was posted by that person.
Yeah.
The Earth. Wow. Might it
Another one.
That's like kind of a real map.
Turkestan.
Someone said, that's a real map.
You've seen this one?
No, but I just, that looks like a real map. It's not just
Serbia?
Wow.
Greater Serbia, we love it.
Turkestan?
This is.
And then the Turkestan
This
is
is a
like the
real map.
Great.
Someone made back.
Oh,
Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth has been replaced by Polonia and Turkestan.
it's still there. What are you talking about?
Let's go to Georgia. This is really high res.
People's Republic of
Fantastic.
What is that?
Well,
They say Georgia.
well, that name is Georgia, but in Georgian.
Oh,
But
okay.
otherwise, People's Republic.
Well, it's like I think it's the only communist country. So there you go. Stop.
Oh, it's not.
All right. Interesting. Okay.
That one's mine, and I looked more into it, and I don't think it's actually speculative, but basically, there's been a movement in the Korean government to, it's really bad. There's a movement in the Korean government to like make the administrative capital Sejong instead of Seoul, to help with Seoul's like population, like, and overpopulation, and just like promote movement towards like central
Mhm.
Korea instead of staying like northwest.
Mm.
And I thought this might have been like a perspective like layout of Sejong, but I think this is just an older map and they're doing new renovations on top of this.
Hmm.
So yeah.
How far is this city from Seoul?
Hoping to have everything transferred by 23rd. If I remember.
How far away is it?
From Seoul?
Like distance wise?
Well, very northwest. This is like very central, but Korea isn't super big, so I'm not sure
Yeah.
how far it is.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
This is a rendering map of an architecture project in Saudi Arabia. I think rendering map and architecture are all speculative to some extent, and this project is especially absurd because architectures around the world all think that it will never happen. So Saudi Arabia is trying to like make a future city in this line, and they try to make some underground systems and whatsoever like within this line, and like yeah, because we usually think that the city should be an orbital shape and it should be like has a central focus and when people go around it can't be aligned and it actually breaks a lot of boundary within nature. I think yeah, this is really interesting.
To go from one place to another, you have to go across the entire line.
Yes, and there are like they have like underground transport systems.
Yeah.
There's something yeah. It's kind of yeah, the website I put is I think yeah, just an overview of this project.
I hate this.
They're mining our
I
data.
hate this.
Don't, no,
What?
don't let them.
They're mining our data.
Stop. All right. All right. What? Okay.
The point is that it looks cool. Like they have so much money they can just do it.
Yeah, they have so
They
much
would-
Like they just have that much money. It's like Dubai, like so much shit.
Spend on something better.
It's just cool. That's it. It's all it is.
Yeah, like you can just like
Oh
build
my
like
gosh.
actual cities that like people will actually want to live in. Like
We think a lot of birds like.
Yeah, they back into it.
It's like, but no one's actually lived.
I know no exactly.
Like if they do, it's all like
All right, and they keep going.
Be like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So this, I wasn't here yesterday, so I did this one. This is my fictional map. It's a map of Catan, this Catan board, Seafarer's set. This is my favorite board game. I bet a lot of you guys have played it. But this game in particular, it was over Christmas break, I think, last year.
Is this
And
you?
that's my brother.
Uh-huh.
And then that's my good friend from home. And then I was red, and I actually won this game, came from behind through victory points. But it's kind of cool that there's like different like goods that you can get, and then you roll. And so there's wood, there's ore, there's sheep, hay, and brick, and then you have to create like settlements and roads from that. But it's kind of fun to like make the board and flip it all over and see like what geographic features and like where you want to place and that kind of thing. That was unfictional.
Cool. All right.
And then this is my speculation, and it's a projection of like global climate change in, I guess, in
2060.
2069. And it's just like, I mean, it's scientific maybe based off the current like trajectory, but it's also just a projection because and then so it's speculation because like we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. Especially it says like high emissions RCP
Yep.
8.5, which I don't know what RCP 8.5 stands for, but I would guess that would be like if the world keeps using fossil fuels like to a very high extent, then this would be a possible outcome of temperatures.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me, yeah. I mean, it's sobering to when you start thinking about the data about things that are going to happen in 40 years, and there's data out there, and there probably will be for a long time on either side of an issue like this, right? Like, how will you unpack what really is likely to happen? Who's seen Don't Look Up? What's the thesis? What happens?
I think it's a giant asteroid. The moon is going to crash into Earth.
Yeah.
And people like a scientist discovers that like a month or two out.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just like, what are we gonna do for the next little bit of time before they go?
But isn't there a whole thread of like, let's not talk about it. Don't look up.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a big conflict between the political side of things and the scientific side of things.
Right.
And like
People
do we let people know and
accept it.
do we ignore it? Focus on other things.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Matt?
he's in a lot of roles like that.
What's that?
Because I think he plays a very similar kind of guy in one battle after another.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I just realized that.
Who were you talking?
Leo.
Leo,
Oh, Leo, yeah. Okay. Whose was this?
Yeah. Projection of the world population in 2100 broken down by modern country board boundaries. So each country boundary is inflated to represent the proportion of the world population that the United Nations expects that country to have in the year 2100.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously we're not used to a normal one that would show it in this manner today. So we don't necessarily have a mental base for this, but it is significantly different than what happens today. This is obviously speculation because we don't have census data
Right.
for the year 2100 because that is in the future, but it is based on population demographic changes, trends, etc. in demographic space. The biggest trends obviously are the relative decline of China in population and the continued increase of India, as well as the dramatic increase of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Nigeria, and then the relative decrease in the United States population. Not an actual decrease in the United States population, but a decline in its relative share of the world population. in Europe as well, but that's kind of.
I like how France looks normal.
Russia's like a thin
Yeah.
line. It's
Russia and Canada are like.
Canada just doesn't exist on the
Yeah, that's already the case.
Yeah.
They appear to have taken Alaska, not for its population, but as a part of the United States
Yeah,
population.
that's very, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Where?
All right, I'm glad we got to go through that. So now we're going to jump to the final presentations. And I think we'll just go in order here. Let me make sure I got 12, there's 15. Okay. And Dalton, Michael, you've both gone.
Yes, sir.
Felicia and Sayer have gone. So Travis, you want to?
Yeah. I have to.
You need to.
Can I just click through on your computer?
Yeah, yeah,
Also, mine's a little higher, they uploaded it, but we think it's.
yeah. Yeah.
it's bad.
Hold on just a second. Let me clear off some things here. Just a second here. All right, so
I think I just put the link in here so I could click on this.
oh, perfect.
Okay, so this is I'm just gonna take you on like a quick tour of eBird. So as I mentioned in the other class, I'm a big bird watcher, and eBird is like a citizen science platform where you can submit your sightings and the location of your sightings, and then the community can look back at what you've seen and what other people have seen to try and find new species or not new species, but new species to their life list. But here are the ways that eBird uses maps. So, and this is in the explore area. First, I'm going to take you to hotspots. So hotspots are like birding locations. So these are all of the places that hotspots, like recorded bird hotspots are. So like if I were to go to the Clark and for birding, then I would like see all the birds that I would see all the birds, identify them, and then I would submit it in a hotspot. And if you zoom in, let me put Williams College. So you can see all like this. I don't know where that is. Where's the Clark? There's a hotspot I looked at yesterday. So, okay, so this is the Clark's hotspot. There's been 111 species seen there and 113 checklists. And then you can either submit data and submit like what you've seen, or you can view details. And this shows all of the sightings and when.
And also who doesn't.
Yeah, and who does it? So, Jane Morrison, I've seen her, but she saw a barred owl there on the 4th. And if it's an interesting sighting, usually birders will put like a picture or a little bit about it. So like on the ground and flying off with his lunch. So that's pretty cool. And that's the hotspot. And so there's hotspots all across the globe. And like the darker red means that there's just a higher density of hotspots. And those hotspots have more diverse and numbers of species. Now what I think is even cooler is the species map. So this is a species map showing, oh, that's a bummer. Maybe I'll try and, I don't know why. Wait, let me try and sign in. That was my old one. It's unprofessional.
It's soccer piece.
Yeah, Bang, we're in. Okay. So, okay, so this is the species map. So you look up any species in the world, and eBird has data on its sightings. So, for example, my favorite species is the northern gannet. It's like kind of a mix between like an albatross and a seagull, but it lives in the Atlantic Ocean and here's its range. The darker purple is like more prevalent. The lighter purple is less prevalent. So it lives in like the North Atlantic. In the summer, it breeds in like rocky coastlines in like around like Ireland, Western Europe, and
Time out.
Yeah.
time out. What kind of projection is going on here?
Over the seas.
Mercator.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, what are the square, look how they're square, lots, it's all squares.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like kind of very granular. Yeah.
well,
and
it's
I-
a form of data collection.
Oh, right,
And they're
yeah.
bigger in the northern hemisphere than in the.
I see that. Yeah.
Different sizes.
Interesting. Yeah.
They're all equal in area on the Mercator projection.
Yeah.
No, they're all equal area, they're different sizes as we're looking.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That's really cool. I didn't even notice that. But so the Northern Gannett, I'll zoom in on where I'm from. And so this is like all of the locations that they've been spotted. The red ones are hotspots, meaning like just like public spaces that like people are like, oh yeah, I saw it like at this park. Whereas the blue ones are just kind of like random. Like I'm sure I have a couple spaces that there wasn't a hotspot for, so I just submitted a sighting. Now like I saw if you go to the north end, which is the ocean front, that's the Atlantic Ocean. So there's a lot of these in the winter. They come migrate down off the coast, and so like June McDaniels on the 1st or on the 22nd, sorry, saw 600 of them. There was probably a flock offshore. I'm good friends with all these people. It's kind of cool to see this, but and so Rob Bilowski, he's like the best birder in Virginia Beach. Like he's a legend. This day he saw. I looked at this an Icelandic gull, which is pretty. This is kind of why. So for this one, this is a rare species around us, much more northern, and so he wrote a little bit about that species. But then, if you guys want to see the northern gannet, this is the northern gannet. Pretty cool looking bird. You can't see the wingtip necessarily, but the wingtip is all black, so like all white, with a little bit of yellowish wash, a blue beak, and this like amazing black wingtip. But and they have a 6 foot wingspan, so they're definitely my favorite. But it's just kind of cool to see that and to share something eBird with you guys because it's something that I use a lot and it's kind of close to my heart. Any questions? Yeah.
I have a question about the exotic range.
Mhm.
Do the orange things mean that like birds out of their natural element are in an area?
So this one,
Which is frequency?
Next to the purple.
exotic range shown in orange.
So is that like
I'm not sure. That might be new.
okay? I wonder if it's like invasive species and then they've been where
Yeah, I'll have to look. I'll have to look this up. I think you're probably right about that. Like,
Other questions?
yeah, other questions?
So your account, it's kept a list of like every bird you've seen.
Right, yeah.
What's
Mhm.
the like craziest thing that you've seen that you weren't expecting?
Well, I kind of pulled this one up. It works with the exotic. So, like, this is the American flamingo. They're from further south in like the Yucatan, but I guess yeah, there's been like exotic sightings, and those are shown in yellow. But this was the craziest, my favorite bird. I actually wrote my Common App application about this one. And there was a hurricane that came. It actually kind of originated here in the Pacific, which was weird, and then it came up the Yucatan Peninsula and carried flamingos within its eye all the way up to. I saw them in North Carolina. Any other-
One more question, Raphael, and then we're gonna move on.
You mentioned that guy was a legend. How far are you from like getting there?
like he's really good. I like in a year I was there was like a leaderboard like competitive birding. I was 10th one year with like no in Virginia Beach. There was and there was like I think I saw 230 species in Virginia Beach, whereas he saw like 330. So pretty he every species that's kind of seen in Virginia Beach, he is on it that year.
It's the global birder.
There's a guy who's seen like over 10,000, I think. But yeah, he's more of a legend. Oh God, I think I just X'd out Pixium 777.
That's, no, you're good.
Oh, this is it. Oh, yeah, you're right. Cool. Yeah, thank you guys.
So, next up, Santiago.
How early do you get up to go birding?
Birding is better in the morning, so the earlier the better, right?
Give me a number.
Sunrise.
Give me a number.
If you wanna go to the right, just go to the right if you can.
Okay.
Or the good. Keep
going.
There you go.
Alright, sorry guys, this is kind of a ditty. It's more of an art piece than a map, but this is a 2D projection of my scalp. I discovered combing my hair recently. I don't know if you noticed. And the windrose is my cowlick. This is like, these are the sides. This is like my left ear. This is my right ear, front of my head. This kind of, you know, wind, like a southerly, I guess, is this line, and this is the back of my scalp. And this red line here is where I hurt my head when I was little, so my hair doesn't grow there. That's it.
Yeah. How did you like go about? Did you take a photo, or did you have
Yeah,
someone
I
else
took
take
a
a photo? Okay, and then you drew it.
Yeah. I
That's
just
pretty.
graphite.
And what is the compass? Is that show like back, front, ear? Is that what it's?
Yeah,
representing?
back front ear.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. You know, I got the idea. I wasn't really originally planning to present this, so I was just doing it for fun.
Was yesterday's presentation related at all
Um,
on the brain, by the neuron?
no, I did this before that actually. And I don't know, I realized that like my scalp is like a globe, you know, and when I'm combing my hair, I'm kind of working with a 2D projection of it. I'm like, okay, this goes here, this goes there.
Was that Mercator or?
I guess this is a Mercator projection, yeah. Maybe next time I'll do like a, you know, the actual outline of my hair world. Which it would take. Yeah.
Sorry, that's your compass rose there? Is that?
Yeah, it's my cowlick.
What are the
No, but
what are the
we-
letters in the calendar?
Yeah.
Oh, bag, front, ear. I guess I should have put it right
And you're one here too.
Yeah.
Oh, so your eyes are at the bottom of the.
Yeah, so this is like my bangs follow this part here. And then this is the cowlick, this is the back of the head. This line is like this, I guess.
All right, thank you. Let's get Matt. I think Matt, you're next. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, it's Josh.
Okay. All right.
You went to the right.
Let's see. There we go. I think I'm gonna take a moment and like actually open the map. I think that would be a lot better. So I was looking kind of at topographical maps and I got into like water drainage maps. Let's skip this. Good. Okay. It's not great resolution, but this is a water drainage map of the North America kind of. And it shows like water drainage directions at a specific point, which I thought was kind of cool. And I guess we'll get up closer later, but right now, I guess how they made this, it looks kind of like an elevation map when you get in close there. And what they did, they got satellite data from, I don't know, some satellite, and then they kind of used like river network data to kind of correct it. Because I don't think the satellite was necessarily super accurate. So you have, yeah, satellite elevation data, and then as you take the river networks, I think they have a layer like here, and kind of use that to like correct. So you can kind of see all the rivers in the country, which is kind of. Sorry, wait, what did I do there? I totally messed that up. It's only the United States and Canada. So it's a little limit. Oh, oops, that's the wrong way. I think they just didn't really deal with that. No, we're not doing that. Sorry guys, it's like kind of annoying to navigate. But yeah, you can kind of see like, I can try and get to Williamstown if I can zoom in that far. I don't know if I can. My navigational skills are there. But yeah, I guess, yeah, because I guess they kind of assumed like if there's a river, that's going to be like the lowest part. So the water from around is going to drain there. So they kind of use that to make their map. And then let's see. Wait, no, not that. This layer is, yeah. So they kind of use GIS, I think, to color code each point.
Yeah.
And see like at this point, water is going to drain down this direction. So you have all the cardinal directions. I think it's an interesting.
Like interpolation
It is.
Hill shading for this one.
Okay.
It's all math going on in the background.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I forgot where I was gonna go next with this. I guess we can look at some specific areas. If we go into Williamstown, it's kind of hard to see like the state lines, but I think we're like here, Albany. You can kind of see like we got the state line, and then like if you kind of squint to the left of the state line, it's like looks kind of like blue, like kind of like purplish, which is you can look it's like west-ish and north. That kind of makes sense. And then here it's more like greenish and
The
bluish.
colors are directions.
Yeah, yeah. You have to look at the key on the side. So it's a little goofy to look at. Other things I was looking like if you just go zoom out and kind of like squint at New England, you can kind of see that like yeah, here along the St. Lawrence Seaway or whatever, it's mostly like I don't know, like blue purple. So that kind of makes sense. It's west, north and west. And then, but like most of the New England drains like into the ocean this way. That's kind of interesting. There's some insights you can kind of get from that. I was trying to look at the continental divide, but it's kind of like hard to pick out because it's supposed to go like along here, I believe, but it's not really distinct because it's kind of like an elevation map, but it kind of treats all elevation changes as equal, so you can't really see like big features like you would be able to on a normal map. So
Cool.
yeah. Oop. Rafael.
There's like a reason there's a big gap in New Mexico.
I'm not sure. Like, I think they just had like limited scope. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, that could be the drainage that goes through Mexico and then, or through Texas, right, the Rio Grande? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you scroll, can you push it down so we can see?
Sure. Yeah.
I guess they didn't want to do the same thing for the other side of the river. They didn't do either side.
Yeah, that's probably true. They also have like you can do another layer that's like drainage basins too. So that yeah, they just kind of ignored that drainage basin here and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, did you have a question?
Oh no, Sarah.
No, that was a question.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I find it surprising that the east and west are so close. So, like I would expect there to be like I don't know, some kind of transition in the other axis where it's like maybe the western direction goes back on then, right? Or something like I don't know. But green and purple are right next to each other. Always.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting. Like it's yeah, I guess you wonder how like accurate everything is. If it's just
Looks pretty accurate.
I don't know. Yeah.
Did you zoom into like West Virginia?
Oh sure. I mean, what is it?
Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah.
Well,
Or a little bit up to the left, like I'm in Appalachian. So
like there.
wow, that's cool. My mom was talking about this, but like on the Appalachian Plateau, there's like a point where if you're standing in the right spot, like, and you were to, pour your water bottle on one side and one on the other, like one of your water bottles would flow to the Mississippi and the other one would flow to like the Atlantic, which is kind of cool. And I guess you kind of start seeing that here.
Yeah. A little bit, but yeah, again, I don't think this map is the best for seeing that.
Thank you.
Travis, you remember the 5 regions of Virginia?
Oh, you already there. Put some planting in the
Piedmont.
So, in my little backstory here, in my junior year of high school, was able to do my fall semester living on a farm in Vermont. And I did a ton of stargazing while I was there. And every once in a while, there was just zero light pollution. And every once in a while, you'd look up and you'd see this row of these bright dots just fly across the sky. And my friends and I were like, what could this possibly be? And so we looked into it a little bit. and we found that it was, where is it? Here it is. It was the Starlink satellites. And I found this website, Satellite Tracker, which will actually tell you the exact location and speed of any given satellite around the Earth that's currently being tracked. So it'll give you its longitude and latitude. That the longitude ranges from -180 to 180. And the latitude is, I believe, the same, 180 to -180. And that'll tell you which hemisphere it's in, or I guess also which quadrant of the Earth.
Moving in real time.
And it's moving in real time. And I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you can filter by like different companies, like here's where the space station is right now. And you'll be able to check where it will orbit. You can filter and look at its current, like its speed over time. This is per revolution. On the,
Sorry, what does that mean, speed per revolution?
Yeah.
sorry. Trouble with
I think
that.
that's
Here we
like
go.
one circuit around
Yeah,
the.
so it'll orbit every hour and 33 minutes. And its speed will slightly change as it goes, depending on gravity. I don't know why it's
Is there any like special reasons called a revolution?
I think it's just because it's revolving around.
Really, this
We got
Kilometers per hour.
Yeah. And this is the other thing that I found really interesting about this map. You can choose to show only the debris around the Earth. So this is all things that we've either thrown out in space or don't really have control of anymore. And as you can see, we're pretty coded. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to launch things into space.
Do we ever run into things?
I'm guessing we do. And I think there's a lot of math behind it to try and avoid all of it. And hopefully all of it will either come crashing down or launch out. But yeah, we're getting more and more stuff in the sky, making it harder and harder.
Up and 27,000 kilometers per hour
Yeah,
satellite.
and like even the smallest thing, if you get hit,
Yeah.
it could cause a lot of damage. And then the final thing I'll show, I'll take away debris. You can see all the different orbits. So here you have low Earth or sorry. Yeah, low Earth. Yeah, let me deselect everything. Okay. This is all of the things in low Earth orbit. So this is, I believe, to about 2,000 kilometers out. This is medium Earth orbit. And then this is like high Earth. Or this is high Earth orbit right here. And then you have other, and I don't quite remember what geo means. Yeah.
Geostationary.
Geostationary.
It's fixed at one point, so it rotates
With the Earth.
Oh.
So yeah.
You don't think these are the celestial bodies rotating around the Earth?
No, unfortunately not. Yes.
So when you I have never seen the International Space Station, but when you clicked on it, like I was wondering how far away from its trajectory line do you have to be to see it? Do you have to be like basically right on it or not?
Here, let me just look it up.
Or if maybe you don't know.
Like how far away from the
From that,
line
yeah,
itself?
from that green line. Like if you were, on the Yucatan Peninsula, would you be able to see it just on the horizon, or do you kind of have to be like directly beneath the line?
I think you have to be pretty close to the line, but it shifts a lot.
Yeah.
So like I was able to see it in Vermont,
You did.
and right now it's not crossing over.
Right, yeah.
But yeah.
So now actually kind of a comment too.
Mhm.
There's a book that we had to read in senior year called Orbital.
Yeah.
Which followed 6 astronauts on the ISS over the course of one day.
Yeah.
And there was 16 orbits in that single day.
Yeah.
Like the 133. So like you would go through the orbits and you see like now we're going over the Yucatan Peninsula, South Africa, Scandinavia, whatever. It was really cool. My actual question is like, what are all the like companies? Like I recognize ISS, I recognize Starlink.
Yes.
That's it. Like clearly
there's a lot of companies that are able to launch things. I don't know what everything is. I'm guessing a lot of these are like certain countries' satellites. I also think not every satellite is being recorded. But like for example, Navstar, this is GPS, or like US's GPS system. So you can see it's all in like higher Earth orbit. And then like NOAA, this is the US's ocean atmosphere. Yes. So,
How has the rate of satellite launches changed in the last couple of years?
I actually don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty new to learning about all this. I would assume it's gone up, and I would assume it's only gone up since like in the past 30 years. Yeah, especially with Starlink, like just we're launching a lot of stuff. Yeah, couldn't tell you specifically.
Would you be able to click on the military just to get a sense of what that's like?
Yes, we're in
Yeah.
military.
Yeah. Okay, probably bullshit. Yeah.
And also when you click on each satellite, sometimes it'll have an image. Like this is a decayed payload, so this is just waste.
The Independent States.
Commonwealth and Independent States, yeah.
What
I don't know what that
alternate
is,
history.
but-
Separate organization, so you.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that like existed for like.
This-
No, it still exists.
Oh,
Yeah, this
okay.
is space junk right now.
It's like,
This was launched in
I'm
84.
assuming it based off of that it was launched in 1984 and that was Soviet.
Is there any correlation to Antarctica in that, like, it's a place where there is some global authority that exercises some control over what goes up there, or can any country?
Like, is there anything currently over Antarctica?
Well, no, I mean, no, I just mean like, can any country and any company send stuff on the orbit?
Sorry, that's the
Are
Arctic.
there any controls over who sends stuff into orbit?
I believe pretty much I'm guessing there. I mean, there is like a board, I think, but I don't really know what the regulations are. But I think it'd be on the harder side to stop a country from launching something. So
There's a treaty.
There is a treaty about this?
On the treaty, on the outer space treaty. I don't know the specifics of it, but I know there's a treaty. They funded that thing, the UN signed.
Interesting. All right, thank you very much. Who is next? Matthew. Matthew, and then G1.
Oh, I thought I was on the.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, here we go. I got a little exhibit story. So just for reference, as you can see here, this is the video game called GeoGuessr. For those of you who know, it's been a big part of. I founded it in 2021 maybe, and I've been really loving playing it since. You get put into the world, and you got to find out where you are. And like Travis, I wrote my Common App on it, and kind of what it meant to me, and how I was able to use it through my school to bring people together. So I'm just gonna kind of walk you through what it's about, and I guess I can click here. But so first, right? You spawn in and you don't know where you are. And right, you can see as far as how this connects to mapping, in the bottom right, you have a world map, but the goal of the game is to figure out exactly where you are. And feel free to ask questions as they come about, because this can be a little bit of an interactive thing, and I'm gonna try and teach you guys what to look for as you go about this. So first, right, you can see in the top left here, here's GeoGuessr. But as we go here, here's the world map. You can place anywhere. And in the top right here, you have a score. And the highest score you can get is 5,000, and that's if you're like within, hundreds of yards. And the lowest is 0. That's if, right, it was like the US and you guessed like Australia or something. So there's a fun guessing, system, and that's how you can compete with others. You can play against others, play with your friends. And to get us start us off here, you can see there's a compass at the top. The compass is always important to look at because the position of the sun can tell you what hemisphere you're in. So that's like a real starting point. You want to know, like, are you in the northern or the southern hemisphere? And here you can see we're in the northern hemisphere. It's a little hard to see, but if you look at the shadow of like the railing, it's coming from the south, right? So we're in the northern hemisphere. And another thing to look at, right, are what side of the road are we driving on? That's important, right? Are you on the right or the left? And here you can kind of see with the road sign coming up that we're driving on the right. So that already eliminates like a large portion of countries that you don't want to guess in, right? And another thing, right? Look at the road lines, right? What do we have in the US? It's white on the outside, it's yellow on the in, yellow dashed. So we know we're not in the US right now. So as you're kind of going through the game, it's really fun to pick up more on geography, pick up more on like what locations look like. And oftentimes you can, people sometimes just go off vibes. And that's the fun part is like if you kind of look into the game and learn about the people who are like really good at it, they can just go completely off of vibes. They can just like get put in the location and they're like, oh my gosh, we're here because they've been there before or because they just have such a good feel of the game. Another important thing to think about right here, road signs. Sometimes you'll get a language. That also is another test, right? Like, is it maybe a more European language by the characters? Is it kind of, are you reading like Spanish? So here we don't have any language, and that's kind of makes it even tougher to figure things out. Another important thing is architecture, right? So here you can maybe see like as we start trying to hint towards what it could be, you see the like red kind of roof. This gives like more of a Mediterranean vibe if you like start playing a little more, right? So you start narrowing down where you are, and it's just a really fun process as you get better at it to either try and get more accurate or guess in a quicker time than before. Another big term in the game is foliage, right? What is the like greenery around you, right? Is it more dry? Is it like really lush, right? Sometimes like you get put in like a rainforest and you're like, oh, the greenery is just like growing and so bright. Here it's a little more dry, right? If we go back, you can see in the background, right? It is green, but an important thing to look at that we're going to point out next here, if you let me click, is look at this grass, right? So look at the grass. It's like really dry, right? It's not like green grass. It's a little more dry. So there's just so many fun aspects to kind of look into. And then what's most important is what isn't there, right? If you're looking out the window right now and you see certain trees that you don't see in this region, then at least you can know you're not like in Williamstown. Or if there's not like huge billboards, right? Maybe you're not like on a US highway. So there's a lot of fun ways to go about kind of breaking down an image. And the more you play, the more you get a feel for it. And it's really fun to just kind of look at how the world is being mapped visually, right? All this data comes from the Google cars that have those like cameras on top of them, and it connects with Google Earth. And if you've ever dragged one of those little yellow guys onto like a street from Google Earth, it like pops you into where you're at, and it's just a really fun game to play and also give yourself some perspective, right? Because before I played this, I knew like nothing about what other countries look like, but now through this game, you can get a bit of a sense of one, learning the world map because you have to navigate this to be able to pick where you want to pick, but also getting a visual image of what things look like. So I don't know if we have any guesses of where this is, but I'd love to take some. Yeah,
It's like this is coastal Croatia.
close. It's the Mediterranean region.
I'm gonna go with Spain.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Spain too because the 12th dot is next to Spain.
Okay. That's you're thinking ahead. Yeah, so if we zoom in here, my guess was like Portugal, so I was pretty close when I test ran this, but it's in like the top left corner of Spain. The resolution here isn't great, but it's just it's really fun. You could play, I mean, it does cost a few bucks to play, I guess like infinite times nowadays. I guess that's how they get you. But yeah, it's just if it's ever something you want to check out, learning about, first of all, it helped me really familiarize myself with the world map because before then, like, especially when you're on a time crunch, right? And you're like, oh, I see a language, I know it's Poland, but it's like, shoot, I need to get zoom into Poland in like a matter of seconds. So you get really familiar with the world map, but also now it's fun when I hear where people are from or I hear something in the world happen in a certain country, you kind of have a visual image of maybe what like not just the main cities of that place look like, but actually what like rural, or suburban life is in that area. So that's just me introducing you guys to geoguessing. Yeah.
Do you think he could do a round?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of pressure. I mean, yeah, I can.
How long will it take?
It'll take some time though. Maybe like afterwards, I can show you. Yeah. Because it'll take a few minutes.
Question.
Yeah.
Where still is not mapped?
Yeah. So a lot of countries. That I can. I can also show you after on my computer. I have like a better through the subscription when I can see things. But a lot of regions of Africa are still not mapped, and certain Asian countries. Um, that's partially like China's not mapped. There's a lot of I was talking with a professor. We were talking about how like there's a lot of spots that are mapped through people's like phones. You can kind of upload an image, so like there might be some landmarks or some hiking trails that have photos, but like as far as the whole country of China, like the roads aren't mapped, and a lot of African countries, one just because of like either technology or two like politically or government decision making, right? Like you have to let Google come in and map your whole country. So there are certain countries that don't want that. But yeah, I can show you a more detailed map that shows what it is and isn't mapped. But what's nice is there's increasingly more mapping being done. Yeah.
Well, I love a little bit about how you can select a subject. Like I was interested in museums.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
can do stadiums.
Yeah, it's really fun. You can like so as you can see in the top right here, I have the world map selected. So I wanted to just get anywhere that has coverage in the world. But yeah, just last night when I was prepping for this and I was actually playing with my brother, we were doing like just US cities because you can specialize like because that would be a little more fair ground because world I have a little more experience than he does. But like US cities we might both be familiar with. So you can specialize just yeah, famous landmarks, museums, even yeah, there's a Williamstown map as you brought up where like it's just Williamstown locations. So I guess for those who take this, some people actually have this as a profession. There's like a world championship every year, and there's like content creators who play this game. And being able to really focus in on a location helps you like practice and learn places, but also just if the world is a little too expansive and you're not familiar yet with it, then you can just go into a certain state, maybe the state you're from or the country you're from, and go that way about it.
Great, thank you. That's you on.
Okay, so this is a picture of the Palisades fire, like in the middle, and this is from last January. And for context, my high school is right around there. So, about a third of it burned. The concrete buildings were fine, but all of the wood structures were burned, and we were on Zoom until I want to say early April. And then we were displaced to Santa Monica for the rest of the year. And this has been on my mind because they just went back onto our main campus like 2 days ago. So I've been seeing all of my like friends' Instagram posts and like welcome back Pally and all that stuff. This isn't like the full extent of the fire. It ended up being, I think, 23,448 acres or something. But during this, I was on Watch TV like 24/7. So this is a nonprofit wildfire like tracking website. Hold on. And this fire, obviously, because it's been contained, like it's not marked on the map anymore, but you can still access it. You can see like the data from it. I can show you a better picture or a better. My school is right there. So like in the center of the Pacific Palisades. And the fire was, I want to say like kind of like that, something like that, like right there. But this was really helpful because I was in Korea, so I was just on this all the time, like checking on my friends' houses, checking on like people I knew, like seeing the containment. It was going up by like 2% a minute, so it was very stressful. But basically how it works is if you zoom out, there's not really, there's no major fires, I think, right now, which is good. But let me see. So, for locations where there are fires, there'll be like a little like flame icon. And if you click it, it'll just give you all the info about it. This one, and then, sorry, if you zoom in, it gives you like the range of it, I think. This one's pretty small, but it'll usually like, it'll give you like a patch of red, which is where the fires are. And then it gives you the evacuation order region, and then the evacuation warning region, and then a weather warning region for bigger fires. And the icon will change depending on the containment. So once it's like 25% contained, like this outer red part goes away, and then 50% like the little yellow, like orange part, like so on, so on, until it's like completely gray. And then the size of the icon indicates the size of the fire. But this was just, it was very helpful. I think there is a website called like Cal Fires, but almost everyone I knew was on watch duty. And it was just really, really helpful. It's run by active and retired first responders, firefighters, like reporters, and they use, I want to say like just calls, internet, radio communication, satellite imaging, like just whatever source they can get to like track the fires in real time. So it was really, really helpful, and I'm very grateful that we had it and that the fire was put out. Yeah. Yeah.
Two things. One, how big was the icon for the fire and
Let me see. You have to go, hold on. They archived it, so you can only go through like the actual link. It was pretty big. I mean, compared to the other ones, like you could see it when you were pretty zoomed out, which is not great. I can see if, I don't know if the other ones show up. Like those are, oh, and there's like a legend, there's like power outages, there's like reported fires that weren't like confirmed yet. But like compared to like these, for example, this one was massive.
and also does this show like agricultural fires for farms and stuff like
I
like controlled
think
fires?
so. It depends on what's reported. So if it's a smaller fire in like a smaller area, they just like take care of it themselves, like probably not. But if it's reported, it'll show up on the map. Yeah. Yeah.
Was your house affected? And also, what were the main differences that you saw after the fact? Like,
My house was fine. We had a scare because so hold on. This fire was here, and then as we were like, because I flew to Korea the day after the fires, there was another fire that started. My house is like here, and there was a fire that started like here, and we just were worried that the wind would come this way, but we were okay. Um, if you look on Google Maps right now, I'm pretty sure this entire area is still super brown because it's still under like reconstruction. There are a lot of people that have moved back. Like I have a friend whose house like is in the middle of the Palisades and somehow her street was completely fine. So they had to fix all their smoke damage, but they moved back. Um, but yeah, if you look like this area is very brown and then right here it's pretty green and then right here it's like all the white buildings. So like there's definitely a color difference. I haven't been back because for most of like until I left for Williams, it was closed off and it was residents only and you need like a permit to get in. But yeah.
are they planning to plant trees?
I think so. I mean, I'd be surprised if they haven't started trying to replant, but I also don't know like the soil condition and stuff. So yes.
Did your school build differently, use different materials, fireproof, cement, stuff like that? Or do you know?
Well, it's actually kind of ironic because I had a teacher in ninth grade who was in one of the wood buildings, and he was like, yeah, you know, guys, like our old buildings are all cement. So in an earthquake, they're really screwed, but we're safe because we're in wood buildings. And then all the wood buildings burned down. But because earthquakes are so common and like expected in LA, and because they were building temporary buildings like so quickly, my guess is they still used wood. Um, I'm not sure what they're going to permanently rebuild with. But if I find out, I will find a way to let you know. Yeah.
Their house get that you have insurance or something.
It was complicated. So a lot of my friends really struggle to find temporary housing because honestly, like landlords were like driving prices up by like 1,000%. And so a lot of them were in hotels for like a solid month or two, and then had to find like an apartment for like a couple months and then find another house. Um, a lot of people went to Santa Monica. A lot of people went to Huntington Beach, which is like down there somewhere. A couple people went to Hollywood. A couple people went to like Century City, Beverly Hills, which is where I am. But I think almost everyone wants to move back because the Palisades was a very tight-knit community, so I feel like most of them are gonna end up over the next 2 years going back. Yeah.
One more than.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I don't.
There you go. Um, was the housing market for when people were displaced charitable, predatory?
It was so predatory. It was
Yeah.
really bad. I had a lot of friends like telling me about just prices, especially for like the amount of time they were like planning to stay. Like it was probably like a month, but prices were like
Wow.
insane. And like LA rent is already horrible. So it was really bad. And I'm pretty sure Trump never approved our federal funding request for disaster relief. So that also didn't really help. But yeah.
Great, thank you.
Uh, oh shit. Okay. So I found this map on David Rumsey's site. Essentially, it's like a map of the Cold War in 1965. Something a little interesting to me. I mean, it's not that crazy, but this was made by like Czech rather than like Russian or any like Soviet nationality. It was made by a Czech, like a bunch of Czech military strategists. So everything here is actually in Czech. So I'm just gonna go over like a couple of the color delineations. So if it's yellow, like Scandinavia or some other country that's that, it usually means neutrality. So Sweden, Finland. Um, oh yeah, something I just found interesting, and this is like not wrong. It's just something that something I forget that Pakistan still owns Bangladesh, like East Pakistan. Um, I thought that was a neat little note. Green, I mean, it means Western Alliance. You see the entire Western bloc here, Western Europe. So essentially, if you're in a military pact with NATO or like just aligned, that's what they'll mark you as. Um, Something that's, I don't know, just interesting to me is that Iran is Western Alliance here. I mean, they were. It's just something that I mean, I forget about. All you hear about Iran is that they're just antagonistic toward the U.S., but during this time, they were like an ally and a Soviet enemy. So that's just something that I forget about. Something that I thought was interesting is that Saudi Arabia was not marked as like Western aligned. It was marked as neutral, which during this time they had a lot of like they were very tightly knit with the US. So I just thought this was pretty interesting that the Soviets or like the Czechs didn't think they were like aligned enough. And also something that's interesting that didn't mark on a dot is that the same logic applies to Israel. Israel is very small on this map, also has like pretty bad resolution, but it's not, if you zoom in, it's still marked as neutral. So these like key US allies of the Middle East are not really relevant to the Czechs, which I
What
thought
year was this again?
in 1965. Which I thought was pretty neat.
War in 67.
When was the Iranian Revolution?
It was before this, 79. Yeah, they had the Shah at this time. I mean, yeah, this is not that crazy. It's just something I forget that Albania was communist for a long time, and in the Warsaw Pact actually. But I just
saw that.
yeah,
It's so goofy.
I just forget that. I mean, it's not that crazy. It's just
Well,
I don't know.
they thought there was a falling out between Albania and
No, there was when the Soviets crushed the revolutions. I think the Czech Revolution. Then they left, but they were here. And generally, if you're red, I mean, there's a discoloration here. So if you're like darker red, you're in the Warsaw Pact. If you're just lighter red, you're just a socialist country. So Mongolia, China, Yugoslavia, that's the indication of the pact.
Was that Lithuania the lighter red or was it the dark?
It should be the darker red because at this time Albania is still in the Warsaw Pact. If you're a Warsaw Pact country, you're let's see. Okay, this like it's really like low res, and I apologize for that, but there's like
this is like a military map, so there's like airport delineations. It's really hard to see, but yeah, they have like all these little annotations for the airports. And the red circles, there's a bunch of red circles everywhere. There's one around Moscow, one around here. This essentially just means like important industrial areas or just strategic, like what's relevant. Um, and this is the legend for reference. This is everything I'm talking about. I mean, it's in Czech, but I had to like use Google Lens. And this is airport. This is all the raw materials that are like they're all demarcated on the map, like iron, nickel, whatever. This is the line. This is like gas lines actually here, and this is the coloration I was talking about. Um, and this is the legend for the Warsaw Pact. I mean, this is population. I think this is land size area, and this is population density, and this is just the countries that are here. And the last thing here. Oh wait, I didn't. So this is okay. Yeah, it's hard to see, but this essentially says preparation of proposals on foreign policy issues. So I think this document is actually like for the Warsaw Pact for strategic purposes because like it seems like the beginning of like these are our policy issues. This is what we're gonna do for the entire pact. So that's it. Also, I forgot to mention this, but this is the military branch. This is like the chief military general of the Warsaw Pact, and this is the secretary. So just a bunch of stuff. And that's it. Oh. Uh,
So do you think this was like a defensive map, like planning in the event of an Allied invasion? Sites.
I don't think it was a defensive map necessarily. I think it was just like a reference map of just the world and like I feel like it's just this map just lets you get into the head of like the Eastern Bloc strategists, who are our friends, who are our enemies. I mean, I think you could say it's defensive or offensive. It's just whatever context. I think it's just a general use map for strategists.
It's so funny that the United States is not on.
Oh yeah, that's something else I forgot to mention. Actually, the U.S. is here,
Alaska.
right here, Alaska. But the U.S., I think this is just
It's just
Eurasia.
Eurasia.
Yeah.
Do you speak Czech?
No, I had to use like Google Lens, which is not the greatest. The translation was a little choppy, and it did not work all the time. But I got enough.
Are you interested in Cold War history? Were you just like going through the maps and this one stood out for you?
Yeah, I was. Well, okay. What I did is I went to Dave Ramsey's website and I just put like propaganda. This is not necessarily propaganda, but this just popped up and I don't know, it caught my eye. And I mean, yeah, I'm interested in Cold War history, so I thought this would be.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I think it's Michael, is that right?
Well, I think when he skipped ahead, my map came up. So I actually have two, hence the 15. This is the first one. But I thought it wasn't good enough because I've already shown you this website. This is Cetera, but the reason I chose this map in particular is because this is where it all started for me. So I mean, I'd kind of been into geography for a while, but with this website in particular and with learning administrative subdivisions, which is my favorite thing to look into, it started with Germany because my junior year of high school, in my French class, I had a German classmate and friend. And I don't know, I think he challenged me to do it. He said, no, you couldn't. You can't learn it. And I was like, yes, I can. And then I skipped to Berlin because everyone knows Berlin. At least if you don't know where it is, you know that it is the capital of Germany. And it's here. And I'll just be brief with this because I have one more thing to show you. But you'll notice there's like some city-state like things, which is interesting. I didn't know that until I started learning. But they are Berlin,
Hamburg,
and this one, Bremen, yeah. Which I could guess the first two when he asked me, but I have no idea. I had no idea why Bremen was independent. It was one of the Hanseatic League cities, so it was independent for that reason. And another cool thing is this is Bremerhaven, so it's like this tiny enclave or exclave of the city-state of Bremen, right there. Cool stuff. But then the other thing I'm going to show you is World. I don't know if any of you guys play this, but this is a website I haven't used as much recently because I kind of learned most of it. But I had a great time with this in high school, and I actually linked it, so I haven't played it in a while, but I'm gonna play it for you guys.
Nice.
And there's a whole bunch of rounds. So first of all, I did that too yesterday because I found that it's pretty cool. Brazil. So. Okay, first try. Good start. Play next round. The 10 neighbors of Brazil. There are a lot.
Paraguay.
I'm gonna go in order.
Okay.
Uruguay, Peru. Holy crap. My keyboard is a little different than this one. French Guiana.
Oh.
Argentina. And obviously, I had no influence over what country they would choose today. Yeah.
Oh, I know this one.
I had a really strange fascination with Guyana for a little while. I think it's a cool country. Boom. Okay. The capital city. That's pretty
Yes,
good.
it's Brasilia.
It used to be a really.
Well, where is Brasilia?
Middle, yeah.
The flag. So I also usually guess I do all the flags. So
Top left.
ready?
It's that one.
Paraguay, Guyana, Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, French Guiana, Peru with the crest, Colombia. And I would show off for my friends like that. And then this is new.
That's the one.
It probably has to be top 20 number one American size.
I don't know. I like that.
Half of this country is.
Capoeira.
No, I did that.
Capoeira.
I did capoeira for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. And then COVID happened.
What for the name? I think it's. Oh.
It's Pedro.
Yeah, no, May.
Yeah. Well, the first time
I was gonna say Carlos. That's new, by the way, since I was playing this. Oh, okay. This is always fun. Like you can use the names to guess which one it is. National emblem. I'm guessing it's gonna be the thing on the flag. It isn't.
Bottom left. Bottom left.
Bottom left.
Bottom left.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it said.
I thought it was the Japan one.
Okay.
Portuguese.
Of course.
Oh, wait, supposed to be that was the second one.
English.
Japanese.
Really? Whoa.
I remember.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of German names there.
What's the language?
Yeah. So then, like the rest of this, like they have like Guernsey which has like 12 speakers on some of these. So it's like, yeah, Jersey and Guernsey.
Yeah.
This is new. It's not very new.
Yeah, I would just add 2.5.
3.5 to 7.
I bet 7.5 to 20.
It's either I think it's
pretty
2.5 or
wealthy
60.
I would do 7.5. I would do 7.5.
Yeah. I didn't see
The
that.
highest. Uruguay. Must be right.
Yeah.
What?
What? Guyana? I thought Guyana was poor.
It is poor. It's just probably stratified. Oh yeah. No question about that one.
Yeah.
This is also like that's a fun thing to learn as the currencies used. This is also very fun. So obviously we know this one's first.
Yeah, how many questions?
They've actually added some. I was used to 7 and we're like on like 8. This is usually towards the end though.
Brasilia and then Fortaleza.
Yeah.
It could be swap.
Nice.
Okay, this is always the last one. It's huge. Yep.
All right.
We did it, guys.
Great website.
Yeah, I learned a lot this way. And it was fun to like play with my friends and do this and that. And I think Brazil was actually a really lucky example because I was a huge Brazil geography fan in my heyday. I learned all the states, I learned all the cities. Like last year when I was bored in class, senior year, this is what I would do. A lot more productive than 2048.
One question.
Oh yeah, question.
Is there any country on like your bucket list to conquer next, like that you don't know much about that you're
Argentina. So I've tried pretty much anything you can think of. Like I did learn all like the Saudi Arabian provinces. I don't remember now. Pakistan, India. I do know pretty well. I actually want to learn Argentina though because I know some people from Argentina. I think it's a cool country. I think it'd be cool because I also know Brazil. So like have like a South American. To Colombia, there's a lot. I would have done that one because it actually has more people than Argentina. But there's like 50.
Do you have methods for your memorization?
Yeah, so I think I was talking about this yesterday, maybe. I explained to my mom there's like 4 levels of understanding like where things go. So the first one is you don't. You don't have any idea. Like if I pulled up provinces of Tanzania, there'd probably be a few names that you have no idea what that is. The second one is like kinda. Like you've heard the name maybe before, but you have no idea where it is, or like you click on it, oh yeah, I can recognize that. To me, the third one is you can know it, but you kind of learn it just through name and like through like brute forcing it, but you get it most times. And then the fourth one is like the best, where like you have an understanding of what it is, where it is. Like for example, with Brazil, like the Sao Paulo state. You can think of a few things, okay, biggest city in the country. It's a pretty big state, which kind of surprised me. Whereas like Rio, which is the second biggest, is a much smaller state.
Because they're making associations.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like the distinction between 3 and 4. So you don't really have those associations, so you forget it a lot easier. Which is why, like for Russia, for example, a lot of the Eastern ones I remember because they're huge. So a lot of them I actually learned at risk.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. Yeah. And then like the Western ones I forget more because it's to me cities. Oriole, Tambov, Tula. I have no idea why one would be in a different place compared to another. I kind of just have to remember the shape. The shape often helps me.
All right.
Oh, yes. I used to play all of them, bro. I played like 6 every day.
Yes.
Hell point. I think that's how old.
I think.
My friend would do it.
Actually, if you click on the grid or to the right, on the right, just move on to the, oh, are you getting do you have a story?
No. Wait, okay, this is mine. Okay, I'm gonna go to the link.
Control V.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Oh, that's not gonna do it.
Oh, no, I did it. Yeah, sorry.
So the dad will do a job.
Control C and then Control V. But I can help you here.
Okay, got it.
All right.
So, I think, like presenting data is a great use of maps. So in this one, we can learn about what Americans think about climate change, like their like different beliefs and how many people agree with it. Let's take global warming is happening, and you can see it like on a national level or even see counties. And in this case, as you can see, a lot of people agree that the global warming is happening. But if you like take others like worried about global warming, you can see that not a lot of people are actually worried about global warming because well they think that I guess it's not affecting them. But
You're like in the middle of the country.
yeah,
You're not worried.
in Seattle and San Francisco, as you can see, a lot of people are worried about global warming, but not in like this part.
Middle.
Yeah, in the middle. Here in New England as well, I can see that a lot of people are worried. Maybe in New York as well, or not really. Well, I can really see New York, but the Long Island, they're not really worried. Okay, we can take something. Wait, I can show you on the state level. Again, California is the most worried about climate change. West Virginia, North Dakota, and Wyoming are not. They're not worried. Okay, we can I'll see like risk perceptions and policy support. Say U.S. economy transition from fossil fuels to 100% clean energy by 2050. Yeah, not a lot of people support it. But yeah, a lot of people support in Hawaii and California again, and Seattle as well.
No wonder why. It's almost like they're on the
A lot of people would be surprised. If you scroll down, you can see the national.
It's pretty high.
It's still a really high percentage across the country.
Yeah.
There's these areas
Yeah.
that no people.
It's 60.
Yeah, yeah. It's like wilderness.
Average 6%.
Yeah. We can also see something else.
This is sort of.
Let's take this. Global warming should be a priority for the next president and Congress. So on the national level it's 53, like more than a half. It's still, I think it's still bad, but so yeah, I just think that maps are a great way to present data, and I really like this website because you can learn a lot of things from here. Actually, my environmental studies professor showed me this, and I think it's fascinating.
Can you like discuss global warming occasionally?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do that by county.
Are they going?
Oh, yeah.
Go to LA, go to LA. Wait, what's the other side?
No, LA hates like.
Ah.
It's just like Alameda County, San Mateo,
Wait, what about?
probably San Francisco.
It's higher.
Wait, it's like 57.
Yeah.
That's
I might use this to learn the counties.
Well, the
Counties, no states.
the who were she priority for the next president Congress, the local.
I learned the counties with PA.
Presidential election.
Does this address other issues besides global warming?
I think it's just about climate change. This one, but yeah. This one's pretty low.
You know how they got their data for this or what the samples are for?
It was we did something here, somewhere here, but
Methodology.
yeah, here. So this is what it says.
With the bike down, maybe.
I have no idea, but I think it's pretty
When
accurate.
they say X%, so go to vote United somewhere, is that really just like the way people respond?
It's like some sort of model to like affect us.
But it was conducted by Yale, so I guess it should be accurate.
We can help.
Yeah.
Well, the model displays data from 31 national representative surveys on American adults that did complete in November 2008, December 2024. Provides full size of 35.
Do you want to do that or
What do you think?
But 35,000 the entire country is pretty small.
Oh, yeah.
And the survey, they're probably have different methodologies themselves.
Yeah, they came to all 50 states in 2000 and 3000 county, which I really don't know about there.
All right, I think we're gonna move on. And then Dylan, right?
Let me go to the website.
People care about climate change in the virtual.
Do you want to?
Okay. Awesome.
I don't want to celebrate that, just with the badge.
How do I do this?
Were you in
Just get the link. I might have to log in as well.
Oh, that's another interesting thing, we saw the link goes on the edge of the image.
Yeah, that could be another.
Travis is even on screen.
Yeah. The like splash. Splash.
Squash L Williamstown.
So this is a platform called Onyx Backcountry. It's something I've been meaning to download for a while, but basically it just looks like a basic topo map from above, which it is, but then there's a ton of different sort of filters and layers you can put on it. So there's a couple modes, one of which is ski tour, which I think is the most interesting because it gives you a bunch of avalanche data. So right now I'm in Wyoming, like above the Tetons. If it loads in. But So I spend a lot of time here every summer. So I thought I would just like show some of the features that the map can do. So you can go into 3D mode, which I think is pretty cool if it loads in. It's being a little slow, but so you can see the topo map in 3D, and then all these layers can go on top of it. So this is the avalanche forecast from some national organizations, where if you zoom out across the country, it'll show you different zones with different avalanche risks just based on recent snowfall. So for example, in the Tetons right now, there's pretty low risk, but then up here, sort of by Yellowstone, there's a higher risk area. Um, sorry, it's being so slow. And then you can see the slope angle as well. So that's similar to the like watershed map we saw earlier. It shows how steep stuff is. And then also the slope aspect map shows which direction the slopes are facing. And then avalanche terrain exposure. So this is just highlighting the steeper areas which are likely to like cause avalanches. And then again, the avalanche runout simulator. So this is where not the zones where the avalanches would be triggered, but the areas where you'd be exposed if an avalanche did happen to where they could potentially run out and bury you. And then this combines a bunch of the other data about like aspect for snow conditions and then steepness to show where avalanches are most likely to happen. And so this is just a super useful tool for planning routes essentially in the backcountry, especially if you're ski touring. Because you can go in here, you can plot points on a map and you can like sort of make a trail and do your best to avoid high risk areas. And then combine this with the like this is constantly updating with the snow data. So just try to get the safest way through. And then one other cool thing is it shows you where like accidents have happened recently. So this was like these are all deaths from avalanches. So this was 2015. Gives you like a quick description of stuff. And obviously not everything's reported, but I guess it just shows you some places maybe you shouldn't be going. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Take one question and then we gotta just move on.
I'll just ask like, you showed at the start a lot of like skiing mountains and that you've been out there a lot. Do you have like a favorite one that you've been to if you're into skiing or?
In this area, I haven't skied it yet, but I climbed Mount Moran, which is right here, in the summer 3 years ago. And let's see if I can, I don't know. There's a massive glacier. It's called the Skillet Glacier that goes right down the middle of it, which is super sick, which I would like to ski in the future, which is it's right where this guy died. But yeah, so this is the Skillet Glacier. You come up. You climb up here through the west part, and then you ski all the way down.
Wait, did he die climbing or skiing?
Not sure. You can see.
Oh, I think we're gonna keep going.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alright,
You have, there,
I do have the clicker.
is that I want to stand or sit in front of you?
Yep, 1 second.
Then while you get ahead.
Left top.
So you're gonna do a story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, on it. Yeah. You're like writing stones going through it. Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 weeks.
And I can navigate through it. See. This one, I think
Ah, perfect.
there we go. Okay, it's on there, okay. Okay. So, I have picked a 1958 map of the, well, it was produced in 1958, but it's actually of the map, it's actually of the United States from 1784 to 1844. So it's going to be basically highlighting the westward expansion of the United States. This is the subject matter, and I'm going to be guessing here that the purpose of the map was educational. I'm supposing that's going to be displayed in middle school and high school classrooms that are covering United States history, and it was meant to be an educational program. So here we go. Besides the title in this cartouche, we also have a key or legend of important historical events. And I thought it'd be fun to note that what feature on this little list actually does include the slaying of Alexander Hamilton in a duel with Burr, as well as the founding of the Mormon Church. They're included in the important historical events. I just thought that would be interesting to know. Another fascinating thing is just how they decided to portray Texas. So Texas was originally a region of Mexico, some of you may know, and it seceded. It seceded over the issue of slavery, actually. Funnily enough, Texas is the only state that seceded from two countries over the issue of slavery. But the area that Texas actually controlled more or less ended here. The rest was what Texas claimed. So Texas didn't control any of it. This was controlled by the Mexican government. So what I think is fascinating is that the cartographer decided to actually portray these territories as belonging to the Republic of Texas. And it was precisely these claims which were inherited by the United States when they annexed Texas in 1845, I think. Or I think it was 1845 because they revolted in 1836. But I just thought that was an interesting tool because it shows us how cartography is definitely subject to biases. I mean, the fact that this is portrayed as Texas is fascinating in some way. Another interesting thing is this is all Mexican territory, yet it's portrayed in yellow, while the rest of Mexico is portrayed in gray. Now, obviously, this is being portrayed in yellow because it's going to eventually be annexed by the United States. But the fact that even before the Mexican-American War, which happens in 1848, it's already depicted in yellow, kind of gives you like a little message, like this is almost a fait accompli, this is meant to be happening almost, which gives you a sort of pseudo-teleological view of history, like this is bound to happen, it's inevitable, and in fact it should happen. This is American territory, even though by this point it's still Mexican territory. Additionally, I wanted to point out a couple things. If we remember the previous map I actually presented, I thought this was interesting. Outside of the map scope, there was less detail. And it had this actually hauntingly and perhaps even charmingly similar typeface over the regions outside of the scope of the map's kind of intention. And so it's fascinating that it's both gray and it has a similar typeface. And I think that this is just emphasizing the purpose of the map. It's meant to be a national history. It's not a global history, it's not a regional history, it's a national history. And it's meant to be limiting the scope of the information presented for the benefit of students. Additionally, besides the cartouches, we have these fun little images, actually decorative images that are reminiscent of the sea monsters and the boats that you see on other world maps. And I think it's interesting because these little images, not only are they decorative, but they actually are meant to correspond to historical events. So I think that is just like another kind of fun aspect of this map, taking a very traditional aspect of past cartography and sort of adopting it for its very modern purpose. And then there should be one last little point here. I'm from the state of Connecticut, so I thought it'd be fun to include. Mostly in these states, either important cities or capitals are represented, and usually if they do one city, it's going to be their capital. Funnily enough, Connecticut has New Haven as the one city that is highlighted on the map. And I think that's interesting because actually up until 1845, which is just the year after the end of this map's time frame, New Haven and Hartford did alternate between being the capitals of Connecticut. I think it was kind of like a winter-summer capital deal. So it's funny that just before this map ends, they were alternating, and the one they decided to show was New Haven. I just thought that was kind of fun little thing to include. And I think that's
one question.
Yes, Dalton.
That was pretty cool. How'd you decide to make that or choose that map?
So I chose both of my maps in kind of a similar way, where I just picked a year, and I was just looking through all the maps. And a lot of the maps, depending on the year, especially if you have a lot of maps produced during that year on the David Rumsey website, a lot of them look very samey. A lot of them have like a similar aesthetic or a similar maybe subject matter. This map popped out to me because it was particularly colorful, and the particular colors that were included just popped out against the background of the rest of the maps. And I thought it was fascinating. And I thought it was quite fortuitous actually, because as I was looking at it, I already pointed out here, the rather elegant typefaces in the regions outside of the map scope or intended scope are oddly reminiscent of the typeface used to represent the areas of the Ortelius map that I represented. You might remember the Britain and Germany were represented with very similar typefaces. So I thought that this was quite interesting. And I think this might be time for me. Yeah.
All right, I realize we're running out of time. What I'd like you to do is to take the next 5 to 7 minutes and go on and do that piece on curating my class. Like write down your 5 to 7 bullet points. If you have already written it down, you can email it to me, or you can just paste, better yet, just paste it into that document. So it's called curating my class.
It's just that Google Doc, right?
Yeah, it's a Google Doc. You just paste it into the bottom, and then you got sort of one record. So tell me what you got out of this, what you want to remember 10 years from now, 5 years from now. So we'll do that for the next 7 minutes, and then I have just a couple things to say to wrap us up. It's in the syllabus. So if you go
Did you name it here? It's
go
kind
to
of scary, isn't it? This is all I know about New Haven is it's moderately scary. At least if you're not on Yale campus.
That's pretty young.
If you get to the syllabus and go to the last day, it's page 9, and there's right here that says curating my class.
For my workplace, and then went to Newton, Massachusetts, where you.
And on this camel is
Okay.
laying down.
Okay.
Like. And now.
They all came full circle.
Oh, we go underneath.
Yep.
Yeah, just at the bottom, just paste it into the bottom, it's fine.
I just think the name is funny. I was sure.
Oh, yeah.
I want to check and make sure that my phone has on right back.
What's the neurosurgeon Steve?
Steve, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I might want to email Tom about getting some of the contact information for at least like the 2 historians who presented.
What was the name of the guy from Daily Overview?
Benjamin Grant, I think.
Yeah.
Steve.
Feel free to give, if you want to give me feedback with this, what you're writing now, you can, but you're going to get another chance to do that with the survey. So they give you guys a survey about your class. So you can give me feedback that way. You can give me feedback, just send me an email too. I'm interested in improving every year. All right. I'm going to wrap things up. You guys feel free. You can add to this after class if you want to. Um, I guess what I'm just going to say, just a couple things. So I invite you all to stay in touch. LinkedIn is awesome. Um, uh, we talked about feedback, and I encourage you to keep using Pixium if you have a need for it or an opportunity to use it. I continue to develop it. Um, uh, I would say as you go forward and think about what you're going to do with your life, I love this diagram. It's a map. It's maybe a little bit much, but I don't know. Anybody seen this before? Did I show this to you guys? No, you've just seen it. So I would just say my experience has been that I probably focus more on making money and and doing something that the world needs. And I was more focused on that when I was younger. And as I got older, I started focusing more on what I like to do and what I'm good at. So I don't read as much into these words, passion, mission, vocation, profession. I think about these four things: what you can get paid for, what the world needs, right? What you love to do and what you're good at. What you love to do is not necessarily what you're good at. And what you're good at may not be what you love to do. You're looking quizzically, Michael.
I'm sorry, I'm just squinting a little bit. My eyes aren't great. The glasses are my bad.
That's all right. That's right. Is it clear?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Now, so I think this is a great construct. And we talked about ABCs of get a job, get a better job, get a career. And that's going to be a winding path for all of you. Like it's rare, the person who, you know, one other thing I would say that's not on this chart that I think is super important is like, who are you doing it with? Because things are a lot more fun depending upon who you're with. And so if you like something and you're good at it and you're working with people that you don't like maybe you shouldn't give up on it. You just need to pot yourself in a different place. So, hey, I hope you've expanded your ideas about what's a map and see it as a gateway to history, art, and science, and that you've become a little bit more of a critical consumer, a better presenter, a confident questioner. You guys have done awesome with that, and also awesome learning how to politely interrupt. So, thank you all. I appreciate each of you. Have a donut, take a globe, stay in touch. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My reflection is going to be a little bit late because I'm sending you two things.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All my remarks will be in there.
Okay.
Because I have a subscription. I should create